Charlie, are you sure you're not joking? Are you sure? What are you? What?
He's not joking.
What are you saying?
No. Of all the positions,
guys, let's go through this again. Let's go through this thing again. I want to be sure. And sorry if we are picking.
My two cousins, who are both mentally challenged, they depend on our family coupons to buy their medication. This is the two of them. We have traveled 2 hours to get here. For them to join these people who are our fellow Ghanaians to picket so that we can have our coupons. This lady's medication alone is over 2,000 cedis a month. Her lab tests, her medical appointments, her psychiatrist to visit her in the house. This lady also has to buy a lot of medication to keep her fit. Is this right? Who do we go to? Who's going to help us? They have been forced to get up early in the morning, drive in trotro in the heat to come here today. We got here even late. This is their carer, the lady I owe over 45,000 cedis, who has been sponsoring them because the cost of living has gone high. We want our coupons. It's very simple. It's very easy. Give us our money. We will never come. If you won't give us our coupon, give us our principals. We will do with it what we choose. It's our money. We worked for it. All of us here worked very hard, sweated and toiled. Give us our money. We shouldn't have to come here at this age. Why? You have no heart? Are we not human beings too? Why? My two cousins, who are both mentally challenged, they depend on our family coupons to buy their medication. This is the two of them.
I also want to assure all Ghanaians that no individual or institutional investor, including pension funds, in government treasury bills or instruments, will lose their money as a result of our ongoing IMF negotiations. There will be no haircuts. So I urge all of you to ignore the false rumors.
The pensioners were with me yesterday and poured out their hearts, and I'm happy they met you too, and you were able to assure them that they will be exempted. And they are here today. They have even programmed to also picket not only at your ministry, but also in Parliament. I'm happy to hear that they are exempted, and what I can leave our pensioners alone. We can solve that without touching the pensioners' small money that was given to them. Oh, the Minister of Finance heard me clear. I'm sure he heard what I said. And so, once we have been able to surmount this, House, anytime you want to debate, please, you can submit a motion and I'll admit it with dispatch for us to debate the program. But we keep on saying nobody should be left behind. And I want this to the IMF and the World Bank. They must be better democratic than they are. Was in negotiating these things, they should hear from this House, Parliament, and get our stamp. Then they carry the whole country along. When it is only with the executive, then it means that the post-war structures that we establish have outlived their usefulness. And we now have to get new structures, including the United Nations. We have to change those structures to respond to the current realities time.
In the early hours of today, members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum were at the Ministry of Finance again to continue with their picketing. They were never attended to by officials of the ministry throughout the entire picketing. Convener for the...
This is the only way government can raise the funds to pay us. Let it be so. And raise funds from the treasury bill and pay this. This is life and death. Government is not paying anybody for anything. Government is not supplying any medicine to any elderly people. Government is not doing anything for the elderly people. They have toiled and saved. They are not begging for government to buy them medicine. They are saying, my money is with you. Give it to me so that I buy medicine. Why should this matter travel this long? Government should find money and bring it. Look, we know in our homes, people even sell their properties to take care of their sick people. People sell their properties. When your wife is in a terrible condition, you may dispose of a property of the family to take care of. Children and family members, we sell our properties to take care of people to live. So the government should do the same. Go and borrow and give it to these pensioners who need their money for medication so that they can live. It's as simple as that. Unless you don't care, unless you want to have a society where there are no elderly person, then maybe you call it a youth country. Only youths are there. There are no elderly people. But our adage say, "Uni penny are there, die. Uni penny are die. Penny ufia uye."
I went to England when I was 28 years old. Worked very hard. I even did cleaning jobs, cleaning of toilet and things. Met a white man, married him. Come to Ghana, come to Ghana. Ghana is the place. I brought him to Ghana. We first made him invest his money in the microfinance one of the microfinance banks. That collapsed. He lost most of his money. Then I said, government bonds are very safe. Let's go for government bonds. We've gone for government bonds. Then I sold a property, family property, to feed, clothe, educate old people and young children. My money is gone. What am I supposed to do? I've had to stop paying children's school fees.
We want the whole nation to know that there's something has gone wrong. You know, with me here is my bond coupon. The interest is due for payment since March. When I go to March 18th, when I go to my bank, they themselves, they don't have any idea as to when the government will release the money for that. So if the bank cannot help me, and I did a thing at the bank, and if the bank cannot help me, then it means I have to come to the government and ask why. If the government had been paying the interest, that's why I'm talking about the issue of trust. When I did it, they have mature days for the payment of interest. So when the day is due, I expect that if at least after a day or two, it will be paid. But look at March 18, April 18, and we are now in May, and there's no word. The bank manager does not even know when they are likely to pay. And so it means that even though I did a thing at the bank cannot help me. So I have to join my colleagues at the ministry and see whether the minister will tell us something.
It's the same old message to give us our coupons and our principals which are due, because it's about 71 coupons outstanding and about 3 principals which are outstanding, and each day gives us more trouble. So it is our humble plea that the Minister of Finance and his team will listen to our plea. We know that we have a listening government, they have a listening ears, and so our picketing will not be in vain.
I don't even see the problem of government. The principal is due. If you haven't paid, it is still part of your debt. If you borrow from the treasury bill and pay, your debt level remains the same. You owe 10 billion. You borrow 5 million to pay 5 million. You still owe 10 million. So I can't see government problem even there. Borrow from the treasury bill market and pay the principal, because it doesn't change your debt level. The only one that will change your debt level is the coupons, because you are going to place more debts and remove the coupons from being in arrears. But we need the money, and we are not even saying, we don't know all the people who government have to pay, but we are looking at pensioners who need their money for their medication. They have toiled. You see, most people did not enjoy life. They know at the end of the day they may suffer, so they have saved. Why would government refuse to pay this group their money for them to buy their medication? I can't understand. Nobody is begging government for money. we are always saying that give us our money. If you can't get money, borrow from the treasury bill market and pay the pensioners. That's all.
I'm not all that happy because I cannot travel from water reading because of my distance. And we are on a platform and we have been hearing the best effort our leader, doctor, is putting up to make sure that we get our money, but it's not working. I don't see why government, how much is the money? How much is the money? You people have got the money and you say you are putting what? National Cathedral. You've condemned or you've broken some hospitals at where? How do you call it? La Hospital. And you've got the courage to what? To use money and put up a cathedral. Why churches are there? Churches are there. Some of the churches are even bigger than what they put there, the hole they've dug there. Some of us are not cowards. Some of us are not cowards. Nobody can coward me. It is my own money. They should give it to me. They should give it to me.
I've been in other countries and I know what is done for the elderly and the pensioners and things. I know that none of that is done here for anybody. And so I took it upon myself to put money away for my retirement. Now we don't have even plenty children. 6 and 10 children, they've stopped doing it. So you don't have plenty children to be doing susu to come and take care of you. So if you have a few children, you won't put money aside for yourself, you'll see what will happen to you. And because we are sitting there, we are looking at our kids like you and even feeling sorry for you. That people can't even find your feet. And so we took those decisions to put monies away for ourselves, to take care of our medication, our bills, our food, and even sometimes to even help our children when we have to. So it's very frustrating. And this is your own money that you put away. It's a different thing if I'm broke and I'm coming to beg for money. But my own money, now I feel like I'm begging somebody to dash me money. And it's not a good feeling.
I was advised that the safest, the coolest place was to invest it with the states, with the government, in what I was told was called bonds. And so this is what I did. And from it, I was told that there will come something they call coupons. I even didn't know. Coupons which were in a form of interest, somehow, quote unquote. With that, medications and so on, I still have my mother alive. And some other responsibilities. I could look after them. And up till now, after over 38 years service to the country, that my little money is not being paid. You see? And it has not been paid. So if you're asking when am I expecting it, I don't know. I don't know. And I think the one that I swore allegiance to, that is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the president, I think it is high time he steps in so that whatever allegiance that I swore to him, he will also honor his part.
Also a very high indebted country, and we began the process of reprofiling Ghana's public debt. As you know, the public debt ended at 122 billion Ghana cedis in 2016. And so we, as a matter of strategy, began the process of reprofiling our debt. This just means that we are replacing more expensive debt with less expensive debt, short-term debt with longer-term debt. This is what is happening. And so you saw that last Friday or so, Ghana issued a bond essentially to do this reprofiling. And in that context, we raised some $2.25 billion of investment that came in to buy this CD-denominated bond. There was a CD bond which was issued for 15 years tenor, 15-year tenor, and that brought in 2.25 billion. But what is so remarkable about this particular transaction, and I think it is, for me, the deal of the year so far. We've
$1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was them, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop. We have told the world that under our leadership, we're going to turn our back.
What is the dream?
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has as a Ghanaian, we need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Tuesday, the 25th day of June 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making around here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Eurobond holders, daily graphic, Eurobond holders forgive $4.7 billion. $4.4 billion also in cash flow relief. Historic royal visit, Gonja, Dagbon, Overlords, Forge Unity and Cooperation. Movement for change prescribes solutions to countries' lives. Georgina Wood. The Ghanaian Times, 2024 election, don't endorse presidential candidates, clergy admonished. Communications Minister launches foundation to empower youth and women. Ghana's Eurobond holders reach agreement with government on debt restructuring. African leaders advised to double efforts towards attainment of SDGs by 2030. Daily Guide, Nana orders 1.5 billion cedis bailout for defunct banks. NDC lies and deceit exposed, Dami. 2024 elections, vigilantism laws to be enforced. Closed fishing season begins July 1. Yagbonwura visits Yana. The new crusading guide. Government reaches debt restructuring agreement with bondholder committee. Former Mahama appointees blow in quotes $8.4 million on questionable Dubai properties. 2024 World Food Safety Day launched. Stakeholders urged to prioritize hygiene practices. Oslowusu launches foundation to cater for needy. Improve teachers' remuneration, urging it to government. Family petitions IGP to dismiss Adan East District Police Commander. The Insight. Alan Martin says his Ghana's great transformational plan. Concerned Ada Citizens Forum urges Minister and National House of Chiefs to act on petition against Nene Tete Lanua Okumo IV. Massive youth employment crisis looms in Ghana, as according to a report. Comet Properties worried over destruction of buildings, appeals for state security. Communications Minister adores Osla Foundation to empower youth and women. New World, New Hope, the struggle for a free Western Sahara continues. The Daily Statesman, Mahama men in $8 million Dubai property scandal. Ghana to host SDGs Action Summit. Minerals Commission denies MP's claims against Lands Minister. Government to revive stalled projects as debt restructuring succeeds. The New Finder, $15 billion saved or deferred, paves the way for resumption of stalled projects. Economic recovery on course, President Kufuor. Government raised 3.6 billion cedis. CD weakens further. Claims Jinapo granted mining license to foreigners false. Only 4% of SDGs on track for Africa by 2030, special advisor. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is Friday, it's still on point. For your bread, it's creamy. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast. It's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection,
brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
Repacho Bantama.
Machasi. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasa. Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Ama, Nansemi General Wobin enkoye kwao. Ama maye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansemi ho se me nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh, you right. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Na ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemasima. Ya, we be boa wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na nim tisese ne oyi chokmo. GC mixture and capsule. Achesa.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quada when you feel to me. Achesa.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Sisala East constituency. He's also the Deputy Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources. The Honorable Amidu Chinia Isaaku is here with me on the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Randy.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Right. Also with me on the show is the man who just turned 55. 55-year-old Motowner is the former executive secretary of the Free Zones Authority, and Kojo Chumbafo is here with me on the show. Good morning, Kojo.
Good morning, Randy.
How does 55 feel like?
The spirit is willing, but sometimes the hinges are creaky. So, yeah. Honorable Chinya just wished me a happy birthday, and I was just asking him where my present was.
You need him to dig a borehole for you. It's from Water Resources.
Sanitation Ministry, they say present
or you need him to clean up your place for you?
No, I just wanted to check his wardrobe to see.
I didn't see that coming.
I thought he was going to visit the cupboard and cover with something.
Oh, could you? He can't just stop being mischievous.
Randy, I'll ignore it.
Yes,
I just wish.
Please do.
I wish him well.
Please do.
I wish him long life and happiness and prosperity.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
55, but you still look very young and strong.
I'm trying. Like I said,
it still hears the Korean cry.
Yeah. When you wake up in the morning, it's another story altogether.
And have to look at your pill box.
I tell you.
And make sure that medication is spot on.
And then you also have to make sure that you remove all this,
Okay. All right. Okay. You're one of those people.
Yes. You want the young ladies to know that you are still.
You're still what?
You're still.
Huh? What is going through? I would say.
Anyway, Radio Ghana speaks everyone.
He's speaking in tongues.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, I know that as a family, you're really looking out for that toothpaste. I mean, you need to get the kids to brush their teeth well, and you need that top quality, perfect toothpaste for the entire family, of course, which is also very affordable. And recommended family toothpaste is KEL 360 toothpaste. This is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. Is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246-864-798. And KEL 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging, irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right. Honorable, I need you to clear something for me quickly. And it could be a bit unfair, but because you are from government, I believe that I could get some clarity on this for you. Nana Asante Bediatu appointed ambassador at large. And a report says the executive secretary of the presidency, Nana Asante Bediatu, has been appointed as an ambassador at large. Mr. Bediatu received his new appointment during a ceremony held at the Jubilee House on Monday, June 24. He started serving as President Kufuor's executive secretary in 2017. An ambassador at large is one who is not assigned to a particular diplomatic post, but is appointed on a special mission. It's not clear whether the president will appoint a new executive secretary or that Mr. Bediatu will perform both roles. The ceremony also saw the president honor 9 newly appointed diplomats. He urged them to actively promote Ghana's image and interest abroad. Quote, your primary responsibility is to promote the image of Ghana as a stable, peaceful, and forward-looking country. The group of appointees include 3 high commissioners and 5 ambassadors, all entrusted with the critical task of representing Ghana in various countries and international organizations. According to President Kufuor, this entails engaging with your host nations to foster strong bilateral relationships, attract investments, and advocate for the interest of Ghana. For the High Commissioner designate and ambassadors designate, he says your postings have come at a particularly critical juncture, not only in global affairs, but also in the journey of our nation's development. Says the world is gradually emerging from the shadows of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has left a profound impact on all facets of life. Now, the newly appointed envoys include Vice Admiral Seth Amuama, who's the immediate past CDS. He is High Commissioner designate to Nigeria. Mrs. Francisca Shitio Dunton, High Commissioner designate to South Africa. Mr. Nesi Ampofo, High Commissioner designate to Rwanda. Major General Nicholas Pitando, Ambassador Designate to Turkey, Mr. Henry Techimensin, Ambassador Designate to Belgium and the EU, and Mrs. Charity Bedao, Ambassador Designate to Morocco, Ms. Abigail Najoko Kwashi, Ambassador Designate to Norway, Dr. Robert Free, Ambassador Designate to Ethiopia and the African Union, and Nana Bidio to Asante, Ambassador at large. Now, what I want you to clear for us is this part of the story that I read. It is not clear whether the president will appoint a new executive secretary or that Mr. Bidio will perform both roles. What do you know?
Well, Randy, first of all, let me say good morning to the birthday man, my senior brother. And like I said earlier, to wish him good health. Health, if they say, is everything.
Yes.
And good morning to the people of Sisala, is my constituency. And sorry to say that yesterday I lost my beloved uncle.
Oh, no.
In Accra here.
Oh, no.
It was a very painful one. He has not been well for some time now.
Oh.
Uncle Bugas, we buried him yesterday in the evening.
Oh, Muslim?
He's a Muslim.
Oh. Are you a Muslim?
I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
I just returned from Hajj.
Oh, Al-Haji. You should have told me to add it to your title.
It's okay.
Honorable Al-Haji.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank God for your life.
Thank you.
I mean, when I heard of the deaths, I panicked a bit.
It's very disturbing. The weather condition there is so bad, so terrible.
I'm told the minimum was about 41.
The
lowest. No, the weather.
Yes. Even the night.
The lowest was about 41.
In the night, there is reading 38, 37. It's very difficult. So I mean, it's a very difficult situation. I find myself. I was so close to my uncle. He has been very supportive in my political career.
How old was he? How old was he?
Oh, he's almost 50 years.
Oh.
Yeah, he's still young.
Not yet 50?
Not yet 50.
Whoa. But he was ill. He was unwell.
Yes, he was. He has been unwell for some time now. So my condolences to the rest of the family, and may God accept his soul.
Our commiserations will also go out to you and your family as well.
Randy, to the question on the table, I also read this as this you have read it. So I am not in position to. I don't have further details other than what you have seen.
I see.
But it's just that my personal expectation is that there should be a new secretary. That is my personal expectation.
Why?
Because
why do you have that?
I mean, we can't have one person holding these two positions. You can't remain the secretary to the president and also ambassador at large when, I mean, the people around are many. My personal expectation is that as he has been appointed ambassador at large, there should be a new secretary to the president. So we are waiting for further details. But as of now, I don't know anything more than what you have read. So myself and you are on the same page.
Well, Kojo, you have friends in high places. You have friends and relatives in high places. So maybe you can help us.
See, talking about didn't see that one coming. First of all, let me say a very big thank you to you, Honorable, and Randy, for all the felicitations. I'm very grateful. And like you said, health is everything. Even if your pensions are gone and you can't buy your medication, at least you can meet good people who help you buy it. So, look, Randy, I think it should be obvious to everybody that the president has sacked his secretary. I don't have any other way to put it. But in the tradition of this president, he even has preferences about how he chooses to sack people depending on whether you are his relative or not. So we saw Ken Ofori-Atta being allegedly fired, given a ministerial position which is even difficult to remember.
The title of ministerial position?
The title, whatever it is that he was given, where's the ministry for that one?
There's no ministry. It's a presidential advisor, a senior presidential advisor.
Where is his office?
I don't know where the office is. I don't know where it is, but it's a senior presidential advisor.
But we all saw the supposedly dismissed finance minister leading our delegation to the spring.
Not leading, but
he was right
part
in front.
Yes,
he was still saying the
but
the
it falls within his portfolio. What the president has given him.
Okay, I have a term for it. I know you don't want me to call it, so I won't say it.
Okay, so don't
minister
say it.
for
Don't say it.
I won't say it. But I'm saying that if you are fired as a finance minister, you are not seen wearing white saying Bible verses at the spring meeting. It doesn't happen. I've never seen or heard it before. Same thing is happening here. The president has fired his secretary. I have heard it that it was coming for a while now, but I didn't believe it will. And now that it has, I think they should have been they shouldn't have been disingenuous. They should tell us that at the very least he has been replaced, okay, and reappointed. But for me, this is another ploy to make sure that those relatives are still paid by the state. And in such a time that this government goes, hopefully they are going, he gets his, ex gratia, yada, yada, yada. That is what this is all about. But even to the uninitiated, even to my 10-year-old son, Rahim, who is at school right now, he's been fired. That's all it is.
I find it unfortunate, and it's unfortunate I'm putting you on the spot. You're a deputy minister, and so I guess you ought to be a bit careful how you deal with it. But from the point of view of the Ghanaian public, the position of secretary to the president is one of the top positions at the presidency. There's an appointment which is communicated or was communicated to the public. Is one of the top positions at the presidency. If for any reason the president is relieving the secretary of his duty, the public ought to know. If for any reason he is adding some responsibilities to his duty, we deserve to know. But to just have see the swearing in of ambassadors designate and High Commissioner designate, and then we see that as appointment of an ambassador at large, a person who already holds the position of secretary to president, and nothing is said about that. I find that a bit concerning.
Well, I quite agree.
What was the position given to Dr. Edward Mahama in 2017? Was that also an ambassador at large?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He still holds it, right?
I am not too sure.
In Nkrumah's government, you know how he used to call them? Ambassador plenipotentiary without portfolio.
Okay.
Well, Randy, I think that I quite agree with you that this should have happened with some clarity as to whether it was an additional position being added, or he was being reshuffled and probably somebody will take his place. But I don't think it is too late yet. I am sure that it just happened yesterday, and I'm sure in the course of today and the day after we'll be getting more information. Even though as at yesterday, probably we should have been clear with the situation, whether it is an additional role or he's been relieved of his position. I think it's not too late, and the president certainly, through his communicators, will be telling us what exactly it is. But like I said earlier, I expect that somebody else should be occupying the position of the secretary to the president, either than he being added an additional responsibility, because acting as an ambassador at large means that you can be sent to any part of the world to perform duties on behalf of the president, and the secretary to the president should be a 24/7 job, because you deal with a lot of things on a daily basis. So the two positions cannot be combined. And so I personally expect that we should be hearing an announcement of a new secretary to the president.
Right. It's in keeping with this very unedifying tradition by this president and the way he look. The executive, you said one of the most. It's probably the most important position around the president, because you are the first person to see the president when he comes into his office and the last person to see him when he leaves. So if that person has been relieved of his position, they owe us a duty to let us know, and not to cloud it in this, very. I don't want. I think it's just deceitful. That's just how I would put it, and let's leave it there.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get on to some other issues. The finance minister has been speaking, and Kojo, it says Ghana's economy will surprise the world this year, and there's also something about the situation with DDEP. And a daily graphic reports that Eurobond holders forgive $4.7 billion, $4.4 billion also in cash flow relief. Emmanuel Bruce reports that Ghana has reached an agreement with Eurobond holders to restructure commercial debts of $13.1 billion. The agreement, which will see Eurobond holders take a haircut of 37% or $4.7 billion in addition to delayed repayments, represents the third and final step in the country's external debt restructuring negotiations. The Committee of Holders of Ghana's Eurobonds, which announced this yesterday, said the proposed agreement on the restructuring of the Eurobonds will resolve Ghana's default on the Eurobonds in a manner that provided significant cash flow and debt stock relief to support the country's economic recovery in the context of the IMF-backed Extended Credit Facility Program. Alongside debt relief, the committee said it recognized that the most important factor to support Ghana's fiscal and debt sustainability going forward was sustained economic policy implementation to bolster macroeconomic stability, improve the investor environment, and institutionalize fiscal credibility. Okay, so this is what we've been told. Bondholders have graciously agreed to provide for $4.4 billion in cash flow relief during the IMF program, in addition to the cancellation of the $4.7 billion of the debt. And speaking in an interview with the Daily Graphic, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Quartey, said the agreement will bring some certainty to the financial markets. These negotiations have taken so long, and it has created a lot of uncertainties. But with this agreement, there's a degree of certainty which is good for the financial market. He explained that the certainty was essential for forecasting and expressed the hope that we will see this also play out in the foreign exchange and interest rate markets. He said the implementation of the government would also give the government some fiscal space to invest in critical areas of the economy. He, however, advised the government to set aside part of the savings towards the repayment of the bonds. Quote, the debt has been rescheduled, not forgiven completely, so we'll pay at a later date. So we should set aside some of the money in a sinking fund to enable repayment. And he also cautioned the government to maintain fiscal prudence to ensure that the country did not land in the same situation again in the near future. He reiterated his call for the introduction of a cap on borrowing. That's Dr. Quartey. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has declared that the country's economy is experiencing a robust rebound after facing significant challenges in the past 2 years. Quote, he says, this year, our economy is going to surprise the whole world. He said at a UK town hall meeting on Saturday, I can tell you that this economy is rebounding strongly. We are rebounding strongly, and it's surprising the world. Even the IMF, the World Bank, they are all surprised. Last year, they projected our economy would grow at 1.5%. We grew at 2.9%. This year, in the first quarter, the projector will grow at 3.1, will grow at 4.7. This economy will grow, and it will grow faster than everybody thinks. He also disclosed that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has directed the Ministry of Finance to release 1.5 billion cedis to customers affected by banking sector cleanup. Dr. Adam acknowledged that the government should not be held accountable for their investment decisions, but noted that mistakes were made in this case and people were not well informed. He said that some individuals have suffered greatly, with some even losing their lives due to the impact of the clean up. Ojo?
Yeah.
Now, so talking about the 1.5 billion, he also says that he's assured the customers that Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer of the MPP, will cover the remaining compensation if he wins the 2024 general elections. Dr. Amin Adam made this announcement when he revealed this 1.5 billion. He says that the disbursement is scheduled to take place from now till October 2024. He says the total amount of money needed for compensation is 4 billion cedis. Says the question on the money locked up, we're going to pay. We do not take responsibility as a government, because when people decide to invest in one bond or one instrument or another, the government is not consulted. It's an individual decision when you're investing. You know you can make returns or you can also lose. Even as a government, when we invest in Eurobonds, the market is volatile. We lose, we gain. And when we lose, we don't blame America or Britain for losing. We advise before we invest. So it's important for us to establish that foundation, that the government will not be held responsible for the investment decisions of individuals. But this government is so caring. And he says the government is so caring that in the first place we granted some bailout to all the affected. And I want to tell you again that the president has directed that we do another bailout. So between now and October, we release 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to the affected people. This will not be the entire amount. The entire amount is 4 billion cedis. But we are showing the roadmap. We'll do the 1.5 billion. And inshallah, Dr. Bawumia will come as the president and will do the rest.
Randy.
Yes.
It's very unfortunate that the finance minister spoke in that manner. Is he trying to tell us that the encouragement to save, and primarily to save with government bonds, is not of benefit to the government? Is that what he's trying to tell us? Randy, this is just akin to somebody coming to borrow 1,000 cedis from you, unable to pay over time, and then he calls you and says, "No, 40 cedis, J." So unim say biasi can mean to mean to ya. Entina what the mamia me 40 cedis na me what J. This is what it means. This is what he's trying to tell us. Dr. Amin Adam is being very disrespectful to those of us who have lost our savings, because the government uses those bonds that people save to run the country. So if you have defaulted, first of all, you use 22 billion cedis to solve a 9 billion cedi problem. Close down banks, people's jobs. It is estimated that over 80,000 people were affected directly and indirectly. You yourself have said people have died as a result. Some people who retired were supposed to enjoy the benefits thereof of their retirement, were told that come back when you are 78 years old, when the life expectancy of an ordinary Ghanaian man is 62 years. And then you come and tell us, oh, Munji, this is what we can. And inshallah, when Dr. Bawumia comes. So where was Dr. Bawumia when all this was going on? Was he not the EMT chairman? Is he not the one who had the so-called golden team in place that had all these players? The economic management team, which, in the words of my sister Beatrice Annan, just fizzled into thin air and became gaseous. How are we now supposed to understand what he's telling us? Randy, let me give you another side. And you have a PhD. So hopefully your PhD is more important than a foreign passport. But you understand what I'm about to say. Randy, there's a section of the people who lost money because of arbitrage of the banks at the time that the CD was falling. You see what I'm saying? People who had treasury bills, when the CD was tanking, they wanted their treasury bills back, and they were told that the government said they shouldn't be paid because treasury bills are called accounts.
By the time all was said and done, the value of those T-bills had plummeted completely. Even when and if they got their money back, it was worth nothing. How is Dr. Amin Adam going to recompense those people? How are those people going to be paid? The people who died, the people who couldn't afford medication, the people who are sick today because of what happened. How are you going to pay them? You are telling us that we should know that you were not forced, in essence. Randy, what we understand or what we have understood and been preached to by our parents, by our education, is that if you're a young person, save. Now we are being told by the finance minister of all people that savings is not compulsory. It doesn't matter. Read the small print.
But the truth is that when you decide on where to save, how much to save, that is your decision. It's not the government's decision.
Randy,
you decide that there are all these investment companies or fund management companies who have all created products, or banks who have all created products.
But Randy, the government bonds, it is not just them. I haven't even gotten to the investment.
Yeah, government bonds are different.
The government bonds themselves became an issue. So if you cannot rely on the risk-free rate that we are preached to by the government, what can you rely on? The most important, look, it was a cascading effect of government bonds failing that caused the private finance houses to also fail, because they also invest in government bonds, government securities. That's the truth. So the finance minister should have found a way. At least Ken Ofori-Atta said he was sorry. Right? But you are telling us that we should know that it is not a compulsion. There's a law in this country that requires salaries to be paid into bank accounts. Why are we not saying that if you are going to pay me, give me my money so I'm going to put it under my bed? You see, what Dr. Amin Adam should understand is that what they have done has created a crisis of confidence in the banking sector that will last for generations. After he is dead and gone, after we are dead and gone, people will not be happy with what has gone on. And instead of apologizing, you just offhandedly tell us that, okay, so from now on, what people are going to preach is that before this government came to power, nobody knew your bank account was not safe. And I've been saying this thing every time I come here. Before Ken Ofori-Atta became finance minister, we didn't know that our bank account was not safe. Now Amin Adam is telling us that. So your bank account is not safe. So if somebody tells everybody in this country that go and collect all your money from the bank, hypothetically, because your bank account is not safe and the finance minister has said it, and there's a run on the banks, what will happen with our fragile economy? He tells us that, our economy will perform. What he doesn't tell us is that our debt to GDP ratio is projected to hit 94% by the end of 2024. How is that an improvement? You have been given relief on debts you owe. How is that an improvement when you are already not paying the debts? We are not paying. So this news that you read is all mogul.
Well, at least it reduces your debt Randy, profile. It reduces.
I'm saying we haven't been paying.
Yes.
So what relief is it to us anyway?
But it still sits on our books. And anytime we calculate the debt, especially when the exchange rate tanks, it obviously raises
Randy,
it. Yes.
What does it do to the pocket of the ordinary man? Absolutely nothing. Because there is even a time lag for these economic indices when they are read for it to even be reflected in anybody's pocket. The fact of the matter is that we owe a lot of money due to a lot of mismanagement, borrowing. These people took power on the guise of telling us that President Mahama had borrowed too much money. Do you remember?
Yes.
That was at 120 billion. Today, 680 billion. More than 5 times what had accrued from Gojisberg to President Mahama. What have they done with the money? Randy, as we speak now, we don't have a proper motorable highway between Accra and Kumasi as we speak today. And yet we are able to commit $250 million to building a new headquarters for the Bank of Ghana. Who, just for the record, just as a conversation, printed 86 billion Ghana cedis in money they shouldn't have printed. Right? The governor of the Bank of Ghana is getting a $10 million mansion. For doing what exactly? That's
an official residence. It's not.
Randy,
it's not a.
These are
it's not retirement benefit.
It is the coagulation of these things that I'm enumerating that causes us to owe the kinds of money we owe. Randy, you and I are both sports people. We love sports. You and I have been in football and sports, boxing for a long time. Did we need to spend $250 million hosting All Africa Games at a time like this? Did we? Did we? Did we need to spend $58 million digging that black hole?
It's brown.
It's what?
Brown.
Yes, it's a brown hole. Right? Digging that abyss, $58 million. I mean, at the very least, put some fish in it and let it become something that we can exploit.
Tilapia farm.
Yes. Put something in there. Right? It is there. We have spent other monies, including giving a consultant. I mean, the whole government was scammed by somebody who claimed they were going to get more money for the project, and they gave the person $6 million to get more money for the project. These are the things that has caused us to be where we are today. We have a president who rents a private jet on our account, travels around the world, goes to cities like London, goes to stay in the most expensive hotel suite in the whole of the United Kingdom at our expense. Randy, you know London very well. You know Claridge's Hotel. You've heard of the Prince Alexander Suite. That is where the president stays when he travels outside. Where we are as a country, do we need anybody to do that to us? And when you do it, when you talk about it, his defense minister will tell you that he has to come and have a shower whilst he's in the air. So because of that, he cannot take a passenger aircraft. Before he became president, what was he taking? After he becomes president, what will he be taking? Even presidents like your good friend Cyril Ramaphosa, who are billionaires in their own right, they fly commercial. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We spend, I mean, this government has over quintupled the amount of money they send to the presidency since they came into power. At the last count, it was well over 2 billion. Why? What do they do with all that money? I haven't even yet begun to talk about the corruption, which costs us interminable amounts of money. Randy, the catapult. You are an honorary citizen of the Volta region. The catapult. Why have we spent money on it? There's only a signboard there.
They're going to spend about $10 million to build an administration.
To do what?
An administration block.
Oh, okay, good. That will come. So add that to the debt, right? And then the Pualugu Dam. We have spent $30 million to buy some blocks that the Chinese contractor has sold and left the country. Randy, trust me when I tell you all these things add up. This morning, when I was coming here, there was traffic, a lot of traffic around Gold House, right? So I opted to go through Nima, the Nima Highway. Do you know the state of that Nima Highway? And yet we have found $30 million to give to a Chinese contractor to carry the money and go. $30 million will fix that road in an instant. It just needs 2 or 3 coats of bitumen. And these are the things that I'm talking about. And yet Dr. Baumia will tell us, oh, when it comes, I'm sure if you say it right now, I tell you, digitalize the Nima Highway. So that the cars can digitalize themselves as they cross, they jump into the potholes. There are so many things that are going on in this country that shouldn't go on. Right? We are at a zenith of poverty. We are being taxed. We are being taxed through every orifice in our body. Randy, we are the only country on this planet who are still paying taxes for COVID. How do you pay taxes because you fell ill? I'm not sure whether you got COVID, but I did.
I did.
Right? It is a horrible disease to get. I've gotten it twice. It's a terrible disease to get. Why am I paying taxes for getting it? Because the government took largesses, distributed it to their foot soldiers. Some of them confessed to getting it, including the now parliamentary candidate for Sagnarigu, who said she was giving 150,000 cedis to distribute to her people. Right? And if you repeat this across board, then Honorable Chinya, who's a deputy minister, may have gotten like 2 million. Right? And it goes around. For that reason, and what they forget is that when you do that, you still have to pay. So we are in a position now where we owe money. Debt is coming out of everywhere. Right? Unfortunately, we have a government that keeps telling us that everything is okay when it's not okay. We have an emperor who's fiddling while Rome is burning. And his little associates, his deputy emperor, is even worse. He doesn't just fiddle. He plays the tuba and plays the trombone. He plays the piccolo. He plays the oboe. He plays everything. Because everywhere Dr. Baumia gets to, he says something else. This is a man who told us that he had shut the exchange rate in a jail cell and given it to the keys to the IGP. That IGP was promptly fired with 3 weeks to resignation, to his retirement, and up to today we don't know where he took the exchange rate, because clearly he didn't give us the cell keys.